Hi everyone, I'm Martha. Welcome to the Discovery Space. Today I'm going to read you a story. This one's my favourite one. It's called Wilfrid Gordon, McDonald Partridge, and it's by Mem Fox and Julia Vivas. I wonder if you can see what this might be about. We've got a little boy here riding a skateboard. Do you ride your skateboard? I do. And here we have maybe a grandma, an older lady sitting on a cane chair, and we've got a chicken. I like chickens. Wilfrid Gordon, McDonald Partridge. There once was a small boy called Wilfrid Gordon McDonald Partridge, and what's more, he wasn't very old either. His house was next door to an old people's home, and he knew all the people who lived there. He liked Mrs. Jordan, who played the organ. He listened to Mr. Hoskins, who told him scary stories. He played with Mr. Tippett, who was crazy about cricket. He ran errands for Miss Mitchell, who walked with a wooden stick. And he admired Mr. Drysdale, who had a voice like a giant. But his favourite person of all was Miss Nancy Allison Delacourt Cooper, because she had 4 names, just like he did. He called her Miss Nancy, and he told her all his secrets. Do you have someone special that you talk to? One day, Wilfrid Gordon and his mother heard his mother and father talking about Miss Nancy. "Poor old thing," said his mother. "Why is she a poor old thing?" asked Wilfrid Gordon. "Because she's lost her memory," said his father. "It isn't surprising," said his mother. "After all, she is 96. "What's a memory?" asked Wilfrid Gordon. He was always asking questions. "It's something you remember," said his father. But Wilfrid Gordon wanted to know more, so he called on Mrs. Jordan, who played the organ. "What's a memory?" he asked. "Something warm, my child, something warm." He called on Mr. Hoskins, who told him scary stories. "What's a memory?" he asked. "Something from long ago, my lad, something from long ago." He called on Mr. Tippett, who was crazy about cricket. "What's a memory?" he asked. "Something that makes you cry, my boy, something that makes you cry." He called on Miss Mitchell, who walked with a wooden stick. "What's a memory?" he asked. "Something that makes you laugh, my darling, something that makes you laugh." He called on Mr. Drysdale, who had a voice like a giant. "What's a memory?" he asked. "Something as precious as gold, young man, something as precious as gold." Ooh, he does look a bit like a giant, doesn't he? He's very tall. So Wilfrid Gordon went home again to look for memories because Miss Nancy had lost her own. There's the chicken. He looked for the shoebox. I have a shoebox. It was a shoebox of shells that he had found long ago last summer, and he put them into a basket. Got a basket here. He found a puppet on strings that always made everyone laugh, and he put that in the basket too. He remembered with sadness the medal that his grandfather had given him, and he laid it carefully next to the shells. Then he found his football, which was as precious as gold. And last of all, on his way to Miss Nancy's, he went into the hen house and took a warm, fresh egg from under a hen. Then Wilfrid Gordon called on Miss Nancy and gave her one thing, one by one. "What a dear strange child to bring me all these wonderful things," thought Miss Nancy. Then she started to remember. She held the warm egg and told Wilfrid Gordon about the tiny speckled blue eggs that she'd once found in a bird's nest in her aunt's garden. Next, she put a shell to her ear and remembered going to the beach all by tram long ago, and how she had felt so hot in her bottom-up boots. There are her boots. She's had to take them off. She got a bit hot. She touched the metal and talked sadly of her big brother she had loved and who had gone to war and never returned. Then she smiled at the puppet on the strings, and she remembered how once she had shown her sister and how she had laughed with a mouthful of porridge. Oh dear, here she is, mouthful of porridge. Have you ever laughed while you've had some food in your mouth? It's a bit messy. Then she bounced the football to Wilfrid Gordon and remembered the day she had met him and all the secrets they had told. And the two of them smiled and smiled because Miss Nancy's memory had been found again by a small boy who wasn't very old either. That's the end of the story. Maybe you're missing someone who's got a lost memory, or perhaps you can call upon them and give them something that you might remember. See you next time.